and why we need to have this conversation, not just for the sake of rewriting our history books, but perhaps in our future, maybe very near future, dealings with the Elohim themselves in actual contention. And that's what apparently our military is talking about right now in a big way, Jay.
Yeah, we're definitely moving to a head on this whole situation, and it's going to get very, very serious very soon. And that's why we have to get ahead of it because, yes, they're going to muddy the water. I can tell you from my film JFKX that I have never seen a muddying water event in my whole life like I've gotten from the establishment, who clearly does not want the truth about anything coming out. I'm astonished. I thought that they might be suffering from fatigue or something, but they're not. They're coming at everything full tilt boogie. So yeah, that this is it. This is the final curtain call of the whole thing, and everyone. We're not reaching the same conclusion at the same time. What we're doing is we're all deciding to speak about it at the same time. And that is something that they did not count on, to have it coming from so many different angles at the same time. We're going to disagree on a lot. I'm not totally convinced that they're space aliens. I still think that they come from here. That apparently Tucker believes also. I believe they've been here somewhere with us for a long time. Now, I'm willing to entertain the space alien thing. I just have some qualms about it. I have been told by someone high up in the intelligence agency of a foreign country that they're going to introduce us to these guys within the next year on television, and that they do not look exactly like us. They look sort of like us, but they look enough different from us that it's going to cause us some anguish. I'm not sure what that means or whatever, but it doesn't matter because I don't trust them anyway. So you can introduce me to 100 of them. I'm not going to trust them because there are no good Elohim. Mm-hmm. There might be some that are a little better than others. Maybe Enki was on our side. I don't know. But and another thing is, are there any female Nephilim or Elohim? Are there any female? I keep looking for a female Elohim, and I can't find any. They all apparently seem to be all of the male ranking. So maybe
And in Dark City, there's no females either. It's all males.
Yeah, it's all male. Yeah. So the original patriarchy starts there, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And anyway, we're at that stage. They're not gods, and we need to stop worshiping them as gods. And when they show up at our door acting like they're some kind of exalted being, we need to tell them to go take a hike. Mm-hmm. And anything they say is not going to be true anyway. So why listen to them?
Why listen to them indeed? I just read this amazing essay, I guess you can call it that, Elohim, Current Capacity in Contention. This is brought forward here by Cliff High on his Substack, and I'm going to bring that link down for you guys here. We're talking about some information that could help our military minds, and even ourselves to some extent, put together strategies and tactics if and when here, as it's being forecasted, we could be in physical contention with these beings again here in our realm. Now, you and I have talked about this on the shows before. You kind of alluded at the beginning of this show that all the wars here on the planet, here in 3D, are really proxy wars for what's happening perhaps above. You mentioned that you didn't know where they were. Interestingly enough, let me scroll down here. That was interesting. Cliff, I put this out here too. This is AI generated here, but the idea was that they could still be here on the planet, but using this type of, not a dome, but a greenhouse effect to capture whatever GONS or etheric energy so that they can live longer and healthier and all that while we're in these descending yugas of time, and that perhaps they have this same contraption also on the moon. And that's why we're seeing all the contention on the moon right now. I had Bruce Cizal on the show a couple of times, and he's looking at explosions, projectiles, so many things that are hard to explain at this point, all happening on the moon. And of course, this Kash Patel video just a couple of days ago, suggesting that the military officials and this Space Force taking full operational control just a couple of days ago, suggesting that they are currently in contention physically with these beings off-world and perhaps in some places here on the planet. Your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, that's why I'm on the fence. I mean, I see all this and I know a lot about the moon. I've been studying it for 40 years. I know there's all sorts of stuff all over the moon that doesn't make any sense unless there's some kind of beings that live up there and are, messing with us from the moon. We know, of course, that the moon has all sorts of lore about all of this. And we know the moon's probably hollow. And the whole Apollo program was designed to um, hide what they were really doing. And of course, they were looking for other things. We now know that. And, and I think so, yeah, I think that there's a lot of evidence that they might be off planet. I'm not sure. My problems with the off planet thing is immune system problems.
Mm.
How a species could arrive here without a hermetically sealed suit and be able to survive the attack of various microorganisms and things. And so, to me, that suggests that these beings have some relationship with the Earth.
But at the same
You know,
time, you and I have talked about this before, where in interactions with the high priests and these Anunnaki or the Elohim, they have to go through this washing process, anointing of oils, all of this because perhaps these are beings that are super afraid of catching any virus
yeah.
or any disease from us, the animals here on the planet. So there is that too. They are afraid of us for that reason.
Well, they are, and they should be. I mean, we're filthy creatures, so we really are. I mean, we aren't in the West anymore, but we used to be. The whole cartoon Pepe Le Pew about the skunk, well, that was how the American servicemen thought that the French really were when they went to France and
Yeah,
occupied.
yeah.
And that came from that. So, yeah, we're not exactly the cleanest creatures on earth. We are a little better now than we were. And back in those days, I would have wanted a human being to take a bath and get rid of the filthy clothes and put on some anti-biological and